Hello, good evening, and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How's everybody tonight? Hope you had a good weekend. So then, we're going to be taking a look at two recent releases from Modiphius Entertainment this week. And we are going to be starting off with Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition Technical Manual. This is a supplement book that provides a vast array of information to set the scene in the 23rd and 24th century and beyond for your Star Trek adventures. So my thanks to Modiphius Entertainment for providing a copy of the Star Trek Adventures technical manual for us to take a look at this evening. There is a link in the video and stream description, so if you wanted to go and check out the book yourself, then you can click on that link and go to the Modiphius web store. We potentially might hit some spoiler territory, but this is mostly information, I guess, both for the player and the games master, just to sort of bring them up to speed to what technology is like in the 23rd century. So if we hit spoilers, I'll put it up, but I think actually for the most part we should be fine. Shall we go to the table and check it out then? Good evening, Roger. Just in time, we're going to take a look at the technical manual for Star Trek Adventures. Before we get started, I will do a quick tease. We also, this week, we're going to be taking a look at the Exploration Guide. That's our show for Wednesday evening. So it's a double bill of Star Trek this week. That's for Wednesday. We'll put that to one side. And let's take a look then at the technical manual. So here we go. Let's have a look on the back. The right tools for the job. I know who said that. So, from its inception, Star Trek has illustrated humanity and its allies and adversaries exploring the galaxy with a wide variety of tools and technologies at their disposal. From tricorders to phasers, deflector dishes to replicators, all the key technological achievements of the future are detailed in this book. This technical manual is essential reading for any casual Star Trek fan or hardcore gamer interested in learning more about the wondrous technologies, ships and weapons available to Starfleet personnel, as well as members of many other species inhabiting the Star Trek universe, including the Klingons, Romulans and Orions. Use the contents of this book to learn more about the gear, weapons and technologies of the Star Trek universe, and to enhance the Star Trek Adventures missions and campaigns you engage in with your friends. And it details a lot of the contents here, but we're going to take a flick through, aren't we? So we don't need to go through that. Quality-wise of the book, we say this all the time, don't we? Modiphius make fantastic books. They're always really nicely produced. It's obviously, this is a hardback edition. We do have a little ribbon bookmark in play. The design is familiar or similar to what is part of the 2nd edition. For those who got the 1st edition, they featured a lot of black pages with white text on, and of course it was a little bit hard to read, even though it did have that feeling of the Lacars sort of displays within each page. Now they've gone for this all white version, so much easier to be able to read the text, which is great. We've got pieces of artwork excuse me, full page pieces of artwork throughout. We'll take a look at some of that as we go through. So yeah, I guess we can jump on in. Again, as I say, it's what we expect from Modiphius. It's a well-produced book for sure. Nice quality. I saw that it is stitch bound, so it's going to last a reasonable amount of time, which is good. All right, so starting off, what do we have here? We have a Federation shuttlecraft, it would seem, that has crashed. And we have oh gosh, what do we have? We have a human, potentially a Vulcan. We have an Orion, and we have, oh, what's his name? I'm gonna have to come back to it. I can't. It's the guys, the blue faces with the little antenna. I'm fumbling at the first hurdle. I'm gonna have to. I will remember what species that is as we go through. Okay, so in the inside here we got some illustrations of various tricorders across the ages. This is interesting. So of course we've got the original series tricorder. This is Next Generation TV series. And then I guess, are we moving on to some of the later ones here? This must be something to do with Discovery, I guess. So, oh, we got a Romulan tricorder, Ferengi, yeah. Cardassian. I want to say that guy's an Ithorian. I'm not sure. Hyposprays, various different kinds, and of course then the medical tricorder from the Next Generation. Pads. I always find that pads are fascinating, aren't they? Because of course TNG in the real world inspired obviously handheld tablets that we have today, so it's fantastic to sort of see these. And to think that our technology now, they had a lot of still plastic on these. We have full screens, so we were better than the 24th century. So, what have we got here? Chapter 1, Supplemental Game Mechanics. Chapter 2, Standard Equipment. Chapter 3, Diplomatic Assets. Chapter 4, Scientific Equipment. 5 is Medical Technology. 6 is Engineering. 7 is Weapons and Tactical Gear. And 8 is Starship Technologies. So it's interesting that even though this is primarily about technical, we've got diplomatic elements in it as well. So we'll take a look at that. I always like the introductions in Modiphius books because these first couple of pages just go through the entire book to give you a good idea of everything that it's going to sort of cover. And yes, here we go, the supplement structure. So detailing each of those chapters. But it does have this section here. For nearly 60 years, the Star Trek franchise in its many forms has had a significant influence on technological advancements and innovations made in the real world. Yeah. So, artificial intelligence, communication devices, yeah, our flipped sort of top mobile phones. Well, of course, I guess they kind of went in fashion and went out of fashion, but it was definitely a Star Trek fan who proposed those ideas at Nokia. Replicators and 3D printing. Tablet technology, just mentioned that. In addition, Star Trek franchise has inspired countless scientists, engineers and technologists across multiple generations in various ways. And often serving as both a source of motivation and a vision for future possibilities. Yep, inspiration for careers, ethical considerations, technical innovation, and a vision of the future. So that's really interesting. So yes, we have our summary then of the actual book, but we'll work our way through that and jump straight on in. So this first section is mainly bringing in an addition to the rules, and that's what they seem to do with the sort of supplemental guides. Is there's always a theme to the book, and then they put in a variety of different rules that might enhance the overall game, and they'll probably lean into the theme in some way, but then you've got the main element that the book is to offer, and of course this is all about the technology, isn't it? So what do we have? New career events. Following additional career events related to science and technology, more suited to characters in a scientific or engineering field. Yep. So encountered a rogue AI. That's interesting. So these are elements that you might add to your character to give them a little bit more of a backstory to them. Encountered a spatial anomaly. Experienced an alternate dimension. Studied a new power source. Now I do have some handy dice, but Roga, did you want to? Actually, yes, we can do. We can pick a number between 1 and 20. Do you want to offer up a number? Let's see what our potential character, how we might enhance some of their backstory. Let's see what they did. So we have career events and we have talents as well. So maybe give me 2 numbers because I'm sure it'll be something similar. Use when creating or developing main characters and non-player characters. Oh, okay, so we can use them for both. So this is all good. It's all just an idea generation, isn't it, to help you along. Okay, so new talents. Augment and cybernetic talents. Command talents. Let's see, do we have any engineering? Custom tools. Wrote the book is a new talent. That would definitely be a sort of Scotty-based talent, wouldn't it, eh? Again. Oh, let's see. There's the guy. The guy with the... Is it an Ithorian? Or am I getting my Star Treks and Star Wars? I just remember this was the race that they did mainly in Enterprise, didn't they? I'm going to roll a dice. I have a dice. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got a 19 on my Klingon dice. Let's see what that was going to be. 19. Worked on a transwarp project. Fantastic. Transwarp is a catch-all term for a variety of faster-than-warp propulsion technologies and projects. The character was involved in one of these projects, whether studying new propulsion theories or developing a new technology for testing. We get +1 in reason or insight, +1 on con or engineering, and we get some suggestions for our focus. I like it. Okay. So then we get, so that was character options. Now we have starship options. The new service records. What do we got? Brought out of mothballs. Long-term mission. Major refit. The ship recently underwent extensive refits, essentially rebuilding the ship from the space frame up. It may as well be a brand new ship. It is the ship of Theseus. That's cool. New talents. Cloaked mines, cluster torpedoes, extended sensor range. That's a cool looking ship. I wonder if, and I hope they do, for the first edition there was the Utopia Planitia guidebook that just detailed all of the Federation ships. I hope that they do some sort of sequel to that, where we look at some of the ships from other races and maybe feature some of the ships that have been in the various TV shows and movies since that book, and maybe some of the ships that they didn't feature. I think that would be a great addition. At the end of the day, it's Star Trek's. A lot of it is about the ships, isn't it? Let's be honest. We like good starships. So what else do we have? Modular cargo bays. Oh gosh, what's the... There's a certain... one of the ships actually has a cargo bay on the top of it, doesn't it? It's like looks like the big saucer section from the Enterprise D, but with just a saucer The warp nacelles are underneath it, a little bit like the Reliant, and it has this great big cargo pod up on the top. So maybe that's what that is. New weapon types, mines. And then yes, we do have excuse me, transwarp and other propulsion. So does this include oh gosh, what was it called? The Spore Drive. Yes, there we go. Yep, talking about the Discovery, USS Discovery, and the Glen. But of course, the Spore Drive ultimately became classified, didn't it? If I remember correctly. The Protostar Drive. This is the late 24th century. Quantum Slipstream, Transwarp. I like, and I've always liked this, that they do call out where these technologies or references to which show. My only sort of niggle is it would be cool if there was just a little bit of a note as far as which episode this majorly feature in, so you could go and watch it, because that of course is the ultimate resource, isn't it? I dare say, of course, there's plenty of information available online, isn't it? So you probably could find it in, you know, quick search, but it would have been nice to sort of highlight which episode. As it said from the back of the book, this is not just for gamers. Star Trek fans hopefully could read this and get a lot from it. And that's what I've always liked about role-playing games, going all the way back to when I was reading the original Star Wars role-playing game, which was launched after the original trilogy had finished. And they created this RPG and filled in all the blanks, which now a lot of that has now become canon within official Star Wars. So if you are a fan of a particular franchise, Star Wars, Star Trek, Aliens, Blade Runner, etc., you know, getting the role-playing game, you can read up and immerse yourself in that world so much more. And that's where, if they had the little points of, hey, go and check out this episode, that would be even better for just the pure fan who's reading this, not necessarily the gamer. Using a tachyon pulse. See, I guess that's something, isn't it? Maybe there should be a section on how to talk, you know, Star Trek technology. So, advanced technology. Even more advanced than what we've got in the 24th century. What do we have? Okay, so it's looking at it just in a general way. And then unusual equipment. Okay. Making a reference to Spock in the motion picture. Using if you can't use transporters and a shuttlecraft's not available, then using an environment suit with a thruster pack. So, okay, yeah. So allowing your players to be creative. That's good. What do we have here? Innovation. Is this actually making equipment? Oh, right. So, and this is something, isn't it, about basically Starfleet officers, is that, you know, give them enough time and they can basically solve any problem. So this looks like going through the steps of, if you have a problem and you need to solve it, then how would you go through it? Be creating something that you currently do not have. And that makes me think of, oh gosh, it was a number of episodes, wasn't it, in Voyager, where they created, was it the Delta Flyer? A brand new high-performance shuttlecraft. Essentially, I guess these rules would allow you to make your own version. That's interesting. So do they actually, do we make any reference to that? It's talking about making prototypes. Roger says, yes, they built it from scratch. They did, didn't they? I mean, I guess Voyager's replicators must have been doing overtime, constantly having to feed the replicators material so they could make brand new things and keep things. It's a shame that they never kind of focused in on the sort of the resource management that the Voyager must have done. They must have had a whole deck just constantly getting raw materials, processing them to be able to then make brand new torpedoes, because they went through a hell of a lot of torpedoes, didn't they? And he uses a toggle instead of a touchpad. Oh, I see. You've got a better memory than me on that one. Common technology. So, holograms. So, communications. Okay, so using a hologram to basically communicate. And then tactical simulations, rec rooms, and then the holodeck. Because yes, that's the thing, isn't it? We certainly think of the holodeck was kind of the innovation for TNG, wasn't it? The great leap from the original series 100 years later, or 70 years, I guess, isn't it? And the holodeck had been created. Because prior to that, Rec Room on the original Enterprise was literally a room with trees and plants and things like that in it, wasn't it? Recreation room, experimental form, programmable holographic environment. For certain Constitution-class starships. Ah, okay. Now that's actually interesting. Because that's just featured in Strange New Worlds. Did they know that there was going to be an episode that had that in? Because that's the first time I've ever seen anything mention holodecks on during the course of the original series timeline. Interesting. I guess, of course, you know, the writers of this work closely with, is it CBS, who owns Star Trek? So, yeah, that's it. Oh, interesting. Did it not look like a gym in some part of the rec room? Yes. Yeah, if you look at the old sort of Starship sort of blueprints, the rec room for part of the rec room, of course, well, on the saucer section of the original Enterprise on the refit, it's up at the back area near the Impulse, and it's mainly featured in the motion picture. But down in the secondary hull, there's those great big windows, and in there's all plant life, and, you know, but again, you look at the blueprints. Blueprints are fantastic to take a look at and see all the things that are part of the Enterprise. But it's very limited. It's very, not by comparison to, of course, the 24th century, where they all have holodecks, and then, of course, they can just generate any location. And then, of course, they can do these sort of tactical simulations for training, things like that. So getting a holodeck, of course, and it was a great tool then for if you're doing long missions, 5 years plus away. Then, you know, you could have proper sort of rest and relaxation time, couldn't you? Hey, let's get a number between 1 and 20 for what kind of holodeck complication? What's gone wrong this week? So while you're giving me a number, we do have a call out here about the Doctor. And it mentions, okay, so this is interesting because it gives me an idea of where the writers were up to. So we do have the Doctor serving under Admiral Janeway aboard USS Voyager 74656A. So if I remember rightly, that is part of the animated show, isn't it? Second season. So I think that's as far as they've got to. You're saying 18. Holodeck malfunctions due to an encounter with a spatial energy field distortion or other anomaly. So maybe it's a case of the holodeck is locked out and we have to complete the story mission that we are playing, and only by completing that are we able to then unlock and actually close the program. Otherwise, we are locked in the program forever. Maybe what did they call it? The safety protocols have been disabled. And that being the case, if we get shot or killed within the simulation, then of course it happens for real. It's dead easy to sort of make up a Star Trek adventure, isn't it? There's so much resource out there to sort of fall back on. I take no credit whatsoever. Okay, so we got pads, personal access display devices. We get a little call out here on the Ferengi, the Klingon, the Cardassian pads. And again, another roll table for complications. Com badges. Now, that's a shame. See, again, this is something that I could quite easily, get this book to be twice its size, because I'd like to see pictures of all the different com badges from all the different eras. All the different communicators, for that matter. Because we got the tricorders. Oh, let's have a look on the back, just in case. I don't want to speak too soon. There we go. There we go. So we got our Starfleet communicator, Kirk era. We have our TNG communicator. I think this is the Deep Space Nine / Voyager era, isn't it? And then this is the version from Discovery in the, is it the 32nd century? So, okay. I give them credit. We got the com badges, so that's okay. Replicators. So, info on different replicators. Okay, uniforms. Do we have... No? No? Oh, that's a shame. See, uniforms is something else that I really, really like. So, an image of the different styles of uniform would have been great. Again, all of this stuff you can find online, but it would have been nice as part of the book, wouldn't it? But we're getting the history of the Starfleet uniforms. I think that's the problem, isn't it, with Star Trek, is there's so much. What can you put into a book like this? You can't put it all in, but yeah, some nice visual of the different uniforms. What's your favourite Starfleet uniform, Roger? And anybody else in the chat or want to leave a comment after the show? Tell me what's your favourite uniform. Klingon uniforms, which of course don't change at all. Well, they do from the original series into the movies and onwards. And I think really the original series, they look okay, but the movies, definitely that warrior design looks brilliant. What have we got here? So, technologies of the 32nd century. Detached nacelles, holographic medical officer, portable replicators, transporters. You think you like the movies with the jacket than the original uniforms? Yeah, I got to admit, it's Star Trek 2 onwards for those sort of scarlet uniforms. They were absolutely brilliant. They look amazing. Oh, we're on the bridge of a Romulan warbird. Okay, so diplomatics. This is what I'm interested in. Which, well, this is. So, Starfleet diplomacy is the practice of managing galactic relations and conducting negotiations between representatives of different worlds. Ah, through technology like the universal translator exists. Yeah, okay. So I think this is an element that can be included in the game that not quite in the technology sort of aspect, but universal translator is a big element, isn't it? So we get a little bit of a timeline as far as how it has improved and developed. And that's it. Ensign Sato in Enterprise obviously worked a large amount into it. So, oh, here we go. Again, another number from 1 to 20, please. Universal Translator complications. I've just remembered. This guy's an Andorian. There we go. Okay, 9. Translator becomes the grammar police, taking on the duty to correct crew's grammatical mistakes. Fair enough. I'll go with that. An Andorian, yes. Answering distress calls. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is going to be a bit more interesting. Again, another number from 1 to 20. When I ask for numbers, it's always going to be from 1 to 20. This is a 2D20 system. What type of planetary crisis might we encounter? Number 1. Weather control systems collapses, creating planetary environmental upheaval. Ah, that's cool. So maybe thinking of the opening sequence of Star Trek IV with the San Francisco, with obviously the storms, the weather. That'd be cool. So, okay. So there was a little bit about diplomacy, and it's more about, yeah, distress calls, universal translator, diplomatic. So there's not a huge amount there, but it's just a little bit of a taster, I guess. So on to scientific equipment. Wow. Again, so much stuff. So what have we got? Emergency transponder. The exocomp. The exocomps are from lower decks, aren't they? But it was actually, an exocomp was in TNG. That's where they originally come from. But they used, it's one of the characters in lower decks, which is quite funny. Isolinear optical storage. Pattern enhancers. That's for doing your emergency beam out when you need to... maybe storms in the ionosphere. You have a pattern enhancer, helps the ship lock onto your signal. Scanning apparatus. We've got tricorders, of course. Ah, okay. Various tricorders from various species. Klingons, Romulans, Trill, Vulcans. Sensor systems. Oh, here we go. Come on, let's have some numbers, please, Roger, because we've got plenty of roll tables here. This is cool. Yes, yes, we have plenty. Away team complications. Away team encounters. why sensor scans might fail external and internal. You're picking another one? 1 and 17. Okay, let's do external and then internal. So an external issue is a time-space distortion interrupting scans. But then our internal issue is 17. Sensor relays lost all power. Our away team encounters sentient plants communicating through subtle colour changes and chemical signals. I'm going to do a quick roll. We get a 7. For the away team complication, the shuttle's navigation system has become unreliable due to planetary anomalies, making it hard to return to orbit. Therefore we must land. Maybe we are able to communicate with, what was it, 3, with these sentient plants. Maybe they are able to assist us. Non-Federation science, the Borg, the Cardassian, the Dominion. Alright, actually it's got quite a few here. So it's given us an overview of science from the different species. So let's do the Borg. Borg technology is among the most advanced and terrifying in the Milky Way galaxy, aimed at assimilating all technology to achieve perfection. Using nanotechnology, the Borg modify victims' genetic structures, integrating biology with technology to create drones linked to a hive mind. And then it talks about them using transwarp technology. Transwarp hubs connect numerous points throughout the galaxy, enhancing the Borg's reach and efficiency. You think those are some good tables, Roger? Yeah, there's lots of tables. In fact, the book on Wednesday night, we're going to have a lot of fun in that one. So have your dice ready. I'm liking, you know, there's a lot of good sort of these full page pieces of art. My only sort of, you know, as I've highlighted, my disappointment is some of the little pieces of art that could have been in amongst the book. Granted, of course, that would take up space, but I'm missing the fact of the uniforms were not highlighted. Okay, I can't get over that. Medical technology. Oh, you see, we got the original medical badge there. So sick bays and infirmaries, the bio bed. Boom, 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 boom. Tools of the medical trade. Auto suture. Dermal stimulator. Medical tricorder. Medical shotgun. That doesn't sound good. Neural transducer. Sonic separator. Neural calipers. So again, you know, this is actually a good section if you were playing a medical character. You'd definitely want to read up on all this, wouldn't you? Oh, here we go. Using transporters as treatment. The biofilters. Foreign object removal. Inoculation. Genetic separation. In rare instances where multiple patients' DNA become fused due to an accident, because of course that happens so often. The transport has been used to detect radio. Oh. Yeah, I can't say that word. Within the target as a means of separating their DNA and returning them to their unfused selves. So what was this? This was the Tuvix, wasn't it? Radiostopes. It's like isotopes. Radioisotopes. It's just radioisotopes, isn't it? There you go. break it down. Holograms in medicine. In case of organ loss, holograms can be used to replicate the effects of a missing heart, lung, or even skin. That's... Transporter accidents, yes, yeah, they happen all the time. Actually, we haven't done transporters yet as an actual thing, have we? Because that's the roll table we want. What kind of transporter accident do we end up? Genetic engineering, enhancement versus augment. So we got the Gem Hadar. Yes, yes. So in fact, does this have Khan? Where would Khan come on in? I guess he is genetic engineering. Is it sort of the eugenics wars, wasn't it? Types of implants, cranial observation. So, oh gosh, what is it? One of the characters in Lower Decks, he has a sort of slightly cyborg. So basically, yeah, he has an interface. He can actually enhanced via a computer, isn't he? And Geordie, of course, has his visor. Until he has the visor technology is put into his eyes, isn't it? I never noticed. Is this a sunbed for Orions? Do you end up getting greener? That's cool. Picard had his heart, of course he did, yes. Yes, because he was stabbed, wasn't he, by... I can't think of the name of the species, but it was a great brute while he was in a bar when he was a young man. And he was just an ensign. Engineering. Oh, here we go. Diagnostic levels. So again, this is the little bits that are interesting because, of course, they always talk about, do a level 3 diagnostic. What does that mean? Well, level 3, these diagnostics utilize people to interpret and verify the readings on core parts of the system being scanned. Level 3 diagnostics are typically run once a day on each ship system. However, especially important systems may require scans twice a day. Because level 3 diagnostics require crew members following up on the data, they usually take around 10 minutes to complete. So that's cool. Transporters. Here we go. This is the important bit. Get ready. A Nausicaan. There we go. Thank you. Good. Get ready with your number, Roger. There's got to be a complication table, hasn't there? So we've got cargo transporters for doing mass transports, but I always thought cargo transporters were not as good a system as personnel, so let's find out. Large objects. Yes, so designed to transport large objects and containers that aren't of complex makeup. This is because this type of transporter sacrifices refinement and detail in its scans in order to account for the cargo's bulk. So you obviously need enhanced personnel transporters for people, don't you? Lower resolution, yes, there we go. Hey, okay, come on, let's have a number for our transporter complication. And a pattern buffer, 18. Spatial interference makes an easy transporter lock impossible, and pattern enhancers must be used. Oh, and you're going to go for 9. Okay, we'll jump over. This is turbo lifts. So what happens in the turbo lift? The car and everyone in it shift into a parallel dimension. The mirror universe. Digital engineering. What have we got? The computer systems. Isolinear chips. Subprocessors. Computer core. And then, yeah, so we're getting... This is great as far as just getting all the lingo and all the different types of tools. 14. Okay. You're holding me to it. Computer systems. 14. A replication error in isolinear optical storage devices has gone unnoticed until a cascading automation failure causes the ship's life support to shut down. That's pretty severe. We should have been paying more attention. What do we have here? Oh wow, okay. This is our Cardassians, isn't it? And some sort of octopus type of Cthulhu type of creature. So weapons and tactical gear. Melee weapons. Batleth. Romulans. Jem'Hadars. Corrosion. Vulcans. Andorian! There we go. Got it right, Andorian. And then we got our various ranged weapons. This is mostly Starfleet based. Phaser Type 1, Phaser Type 2. This is original series phaser. Moving on then to 24th and 25th century. And then into the 32nd century. You want to give me another number for a weapons complication? Let's see what went wrong. We've got 12. Weapons discharge is directed away from target by an outside influence. Ah. That's a cool piece of art. See, Klingon warrior uniforms, awesome. Always good. Disruptor pistols. Cardassian, phase disruptor. Tactical gear. Ah, okay. So, I think this is it an Oberth class? Such as the USS Grissom. They never change. No, they don't. That's the good thing about the Klingons. They've pretty much had that same uniform for over 100 years. See? It's that good. That good. So here we go. Starship technologies. This is the bit that I really like. I've asked Mr. Data to join me in stellar cartography. So, yes, this is from Strange New Worlds, isn't it? We only seen it a little bit. It's a new sort of way of looking at the Enterprise's engine room. Because, of course, in the original series, they had an engine room set, but it wasn't particularly, you know, there was not much there, really. So this is sort of a re-envisaging of it. But ever since the first season of Strange New Worlds, they've never really gone back to engineering on that scale. They always seem to have just this little room where they go to. That's a shame, but it is what it is. Sensors and communication, life support. Shields! Shields, Captain! Come on, another number please, Roger. What's happened to our shields? 8. The shields are collecting dust and gas along its outer edges as it ionizes the particles. Does that mean our shields are weakened? Navigational deflector, which is the dish on the front, isn't it? Which pushes away just all the little bits, atoms that would cause the ship issue. You're saying 7. A power surge burns out the main deflector and causes a cascading plasma explosion. Energy weapons, 14. Damage or ship's nacelles placement cause a target to pass into a blind fire area with a ship's phaser system. So we can't get a clear shot. And then torpedoes. Final one. I'll roll on this one. Let's give it a roll. Oh, what do we get? 20! The Nadion discharge of a phaser burst interacts with the ship's navigational deflector, causing a dispersion of a portion of the beam's strength. Of course it does. So, propulsion technology. Sublight. Impulse drive. And then, of course, warp drive. See, again, you know, we've just got this small amount on warp drive, and yet I know there's just so much that could be said about it. Like, what's the exponential speed of warp drive? There's a fantastic chart that I've seen online where it shows the top speeds of various known Federation ships. I think it's a video, in fact, and you can watch how fast it would take, I think, from going to Earth to the outer solar system, and how fast the original Enterprise would go compared to the Enterprise D, compared to the E, and so on and so forth. It's a fun video, you know. Because, of course, I think, did the original Enterprise, was it maximum warp 5, something like that? And then even the D goes at, I think I think this is maximum sort of normal speed. They can push it, of course. Geordie can always get a little bit extra out of the engines. I think the Enterprise D does go up to like 9.9, something like that, doesn't it? I always thought that Voyager would go faster than the D. Smaller, sleeker, but of course that makes no real effect in space, does it? Are you going to give me a warp drive complication? This will be interesting. And then we're going to look at other ship systems. 11. Through manufacturing defects or damage, the ship's warp coils can't produce a strong enough field to enter warp while within 1 AU of a stellar scale body. Right. We're going to have to make some distance. So other ship systems: artificial gravity, inertial dampeners, communications, life support, sensors, and that's basically it. And then we have the inside pages here, various handheld weapons, comms, beverage, Earl Grey hot. And then, was it for Ractogino? So that's about it. I guess as a book, as a guide going through, it covers a lot of things. And as a fan, I think that there was so much more that I'd want to sort of see on any of these subjects, but that's the problem, isn't it? They can't cover it all, and the book itself is, what is it, 128 pages? You could easily make a book double, but it'd be as big as the core rules, and that's not the idea, is it? So they've got to sort of pick and choose. They've given an element of near enough everything within the Star Trek universe, but it's never going to go into lots and lots of detail. Ultimately, all of that detail is available online if you really want to go for it. So yes, you're saying good information. I wish they expanded on some of it. Technical manual too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and in fact, actually, this final credit does talk about the Star Trek Next Generation technical manual. So again, I think as a fan, these are things that you would have and you would build up from, and you can go and source further information and get into more detail online. There's plenty of resources available to you. You just can't possibly feature all of it in this book. And also, this is where all these tables then are really good. You lose maybe some of the detail, but the tables are fantastic because, of course, this is what generates ideas to use that particular technology and how it might, the complication you might face with it. And all of this, I can imagine all of these are taken from episodes in some shape or form, aren't they? As a fan, I want more, but as an RPG, they give you a lot of information to pull from. That actually is a very fair statement, Rogan. Yep. So, yeah, I like it. I think they've done a fine job, as they always do with these things. Yeah, totally agree. I'd love them to do more. I'd love to be able to have graphics of all the different uniforms, because I could just geek out on that forever. But you can only have so much, can't you? Cool. So, there we go. That was Star Trek Adventures Technical Manual for the, as much as I say second edition, you can, of course, use this with the first edition if you have that. It does work with both. So, as I teased at the start, we'll be taking a look on Wednesday evening, the Exploration Guide. So this is all about discovering strange new worlds. So that is going to be our show on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, I will tease what we're going to be looking at the following week as we get into Halloween week. What could it possibly be, eh? So thank you, everybody, for joining me this evening. Look forward to seeing you on Wednesday as we continue our adventures in the Star Trek universe. But until then, bye for now.